Well, Bethesda did it again. On the 25th of April, the so-called next-gen update for Fallout 4 finally dropped, and it is safe to say that nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, about this update is next-gen in any way. When the next-gen update was first announced a while back, people were speculating that it might be something in the direction of a special edition, like it was the case with Skyrim, a huge update and something that would significantly improve the game's engine and its stability, and that way allow us to use even more awesome and complicated mods. The reality, however, turned out to be a complete disaster. In reality, the so-called next-gen update is nothing more than just a regular patch. The fact alone that Bethesda decided to patch a game that has been released 9 years ago and try to fix some minor problems and bugs that have been in the game for so many years and have actually already been fixed by modders a long time ago just shows how completely deluded this developer has become. Just looking at the patch notes alone will make you wonder if this is a late arrived April's Fool's joke. There are some minor bug fixes, which is fine, but one of the biggest problems, the weapon debris fix that is incompatible with RTX graphics cards and causes stuttering and crashes, has not been fixed. In other words, even with the next-gen update, current-gen graphics cards are not fully supported. Wow! And of course, let's not forget to address the Deathclaw in the room. The only thing this patch does successfully is breaking most of the mods. If you play on PC and have a modded game, after getting this update, your game will most likely CTD on start. For players who got this game on GOG, there is at least the option to roll back to the state before the patch. But Steam users don't even have this option. So it is no surprise that some of the most popular and trending mods on the Nexus right now are the Fallout 4 Downgrader and the Steam Skip Next Gen update. The Downgrader mod allows you to roll back your game and undo the mess the Next Gen patch has created, and the Steam Skip mod just tricks Steam into thinking that the patch is already installed, so that it does not update automatically. One way or another, this patch has brought nothing but more fuel to the Bethesda hate fire. The only people who actually defend this mess are either console players, because for them it actually is kind of an improvement, or the so-called purists, who have a similar mindset as the flat earthers and believe mods of any kind make the game worth and ruin the experience. Bethesda really couldn't have shot them more into their own foot with the timing of the release of this update, because one, a huge amount of people are currently either returning to this game or discovering it for the very first time ever, thanks to the tremendous popularity and success of the Fallout TV show. And for those people, especially for those who are absolutely unfamiliar with modding, to stumble into this mess as their first Fallout gaming experience is certainly not nice.
Ass jerky don't make itself.
And two, because of that update misfire, the highly anticipated DLC-sized mod project Fallout London, that has been in development for over 4 years and was actually about to be released on the 23rd of April, is now delayed until matters are resolved. Because basically the developers of Fallout London are now debating whether they should release Fallout London as it is or adjust it so that it is compatible with the new patch. Of course, the best and safest course of action would be to release 2 different versions, so that the DLC would work on any version of Fallout 4, but that would obviously mean that we would have to wait longer. So actually just releasing the version that is compatible with the pre-patched game would be the best case scenario for all of us right now. This is what the downgraders are for anyway. Fallout 4 is basically in the same situation as the Skyrim Special Edition was back then, when the anniversary update dropped and destroyed the mod support. This is also when downgraders became a thing, because some modders have already moved on and were not able to update their mods. Just rolling back to a functional state became a much more logical solution for many people who just preferred their games to stay in that state, even until now. And this is exactly what is now happening to Fallout 4. The next-gen update has just become another calamity in the history of Bethesda's poor game management. Bethesda, however, has been really quiet about the next-gen update dilemma so far, and Bethesda's director Todd Howard has yet to make an official statement. In a recent interview, Todd did address topics like the Fallout TV show, Starfield and Fallout 76, but the current development with Fallout 4 has been left out completely. The same goes for the future of Fallout and a possible sequel. The only thing Todd did mention in this direction is that he prefers to keep Fallout in the US.
Look, my view is part of the Fallout shtick is on the Americana naivete and part of that. And so, for us right now, it's okay to sort of acknowledge some of those other areas, but our plans is to predominantly keep it in the US.
So a sequel that concentrates on the post-apocalyptic developments in other countries is not very likely. One way or another, as time passes, Bethesda continues to make very questionable decisions and seems to refuse to learn from previous mistakes. There are even weird conspiracy theories going around that it's actually Microsoft's doing. Some people really believe that since Microsoft bought Bethesda, they have been pulling the strings from behind the scenes, ordering Bethesda to do things like purposely cut key features from Starfield, release placebo patches that don't actually do anything at a snail's pace too. In other words, everything to deliberately destroy this developer's image for good. This honestly sounds a bit hard to believe. Microsoft spent a lot of money to buy off Bethesda, and if they really did all that just to kill it off for good, that would actually require an absolute madman in charge. Additionally, as a long-time Bethesda fan, which I actually still kinda am, I can confirm that Bethesda pretty much continues to do Bethesda things, just like they have been for a long time, although I have to admit that it looks like it is getting worse in the last couple of years. The problem is just that Bethesda are still operating on the same level as they have been a decade ago in pretty much every aspect, a level that is just not enough to compete and ultimately survive in the modern gaming world. What the future holds for Bethesda is, however, still up in the stars. Get it? And with that said, if you like what you heard, please consider liking and subscribing. If you don't like what you heard, I thank you all for watching that far. Have a nice day and see you around.